Greetings, beautiful people. I have tried to record this, I don't know how many times, trying to give y'all some, things in the background, but it's not working. So today we're going to be talking about empaths and highly sensitive people, HSP. So now, as an empath, we are emotional sponges who absorb both the stress and the joy of the world. We feel everything, and it is often to the extreme. We are often overwhelmed by excessive stimulation, which leads us to being exhausted, tired, and not being able to finish our daily activities just because we have taken on so much energy as our own. And sometimes it's not our own. It's just we pick up energy very, very quickly, and it's a lot of it. So empaths, we have an extremely reactive neurological system. It's kind of like we absorb the positive and stressful energies around us, and also in our own bodies. This is often where you have kind of like where you have a pain somewhere, and this is also where Reiki healing come in at, being able to move the energies around in your body so that you are able to heal. Also, keeping energies within your body can also cause dis-ease. We have to also pay attention to this word. When we often hear disease, we break these two words up. It's a dis-ease, the function is not functioning correctly, pretty much. So you also may have heard that empaths are often labeled as being overly sensitive, being told that they have thicker skin, being told that they are stronger than that, and that's not always the case. Just because someone may present as being sensitive, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them, or it doesn't mean that they're soft, the word that they use in today when you didn't come out the room rah, everybody thinks that you're soft. So an ordinary empath means pretty much, you know how to be empathetic with others. And your heart knows how to go out to people when they're going through a difficult period in their life. And it also means that you can also be happy for people when they're going through happy times in their life, regardless of if your life may not be where it is at the moment. You also can be. It's very difficult to be hard for people, to be happy for people when they're in their joyous moment. As an empath, we're also able to sense emotions, energy, physical symptoms in your body. Like I said, this is where Reiki healing come in, at energy healing. So we can also experience people's sorrow. Pretty much, we can tell, like, if a person is sad or happy. I can pretty much tell when there's something on somebody's mind and they don't want to talk about it. Or I can just tell when something is bothering somebody and they don't want to talk. Like, I can just tell when something is going on with somebody and they don't want to say anything about it. Or sometimes people don't want to just bring all their problems on you and tell you everything, all the time. And I have to cut my heater off. It is freaking hot in here. And like I said, sometimes people just don't want to bring all of that emotional baggage onto other people, so they tend to keep it in. I'm one of those people who I can tell when something is bothering somebody. And so and I'm also like a great listener. We don't have a lot of great listeners. So if you have a great listener, please hold on. Like, I'm a great listener to where I can sit there and just listen. I don't have to say anything. Actually, when we are able to sense other people's emotions, we have to understand that these emotions, it don't be ours. It has been many times where I have went out in public and without my head being covered. I have a story at the end. Without my head being covered, and just all of a sudden I feel sad, or I'll come back home and I just want to cry. I'm like, well, when I left, I didn't feel that way. And it's just because, and also empaths have to learn how to protect ourselves when we're out in their environment, because we can easily pick up things very, very easily. And I want to talk about what's been happening. So last week, it was like crazy. I don't know what last week was crazy. And so it was kind of like, first of all, I missed an entire day. An entire day. Don't even know how that happened. Not only that, while I'm getting in and out of the car is shocking me, like shocking the freak out of me. Every time I get in I'm afraid to even touch the car door now at this point. So when I get in the car now, I put my sleeve over my hand just so my skin will not touch the door. Just because my energy is so high, right? I don't understand. Like, I know we have electricity, subtle energy running through our body, but I just want to understand, why am I shocked? Why is the car shocking me? Or when I'm touching everybody else, why am I shocking them? That's one thing. And then I was at home by myself, and the kids wasn't here. They had went to the park with their dad. And so I was cooking dinner, so by the time they got home, dinner be already ready. You can just, wash your hands, wash up, and dinner already be ready. So I didn't have dinner ready at least before 7. Before 7, or before 6. So when I was cooking, I had my back turned towards the stove. But let me go back. Before they had even left, I felt something before they had left. I just felt the energy. It felt weird. Now I stay home with myself a lot of time when they go to the park, because it's like my woosah time for me to be able to study, to read, to do whatever, clean up, just to give me like some me time. So I had stayed home many times before, and it hasn't been like this for a long time. But I just felt uneasiness. It was just this uneasiness. I could just tell somebody was watching me. And so when I'm in the kitchen cooking the meal, my back is turned towards the stove. I feel this strong presence come up behind me. So when the energy come up behind me, I turn to my left. So when I turned to my left, it went over to my on my right side. And I was like, well, what is this? Like, okay. It was just so weird. Like, it was extremely weird. Like, things keep happening. I was hearing noises. I cut on every light in the house after that. Every light in this house I cut on. I was like, and it was getting dark at the same time too. And I have my windows open for my plants, for the light to come through my plants. And by this time it was about 6, so the sun was getting ready to go down, and it was getting dark. I was like, nah, bro, I'm leaving these curtains open in case. We're gonna leave them open, and we're gonna cut on all these lights. It was so crazy. So something is happening. I'm not sure what it is, but it's happening energetically. Why they got us focused on these non-important non-important news flashes, there's other things that are happening. Now let's get back to the HSP, which is highly sensitive people. Now, highly sensitive people, or empaths, they pretty much have the same traits. Which includes the need to be alone time, the sensitivity to light, sound, and smell, plus an aversion to large groups. In large groups, we pick up on every single thing, and you have no idea when it's coming from because there's so many people around. And so when I had that experience last week, I just been prompted to cover my head, and since I've been covering my head, it's been okay. Like, I haven't felt like being attacked or anything, even out in public. I've been messing up by not covering my head. So I've been covering my head since I've been going out. And I suggest people who are highly sensitive and who are empaths to start covering your head. Just start covering your head, whether you have on a wig, your real hair, it doesn't matter. Cover your head at this point, because we don't know what's going on. So empaths also share a highly sensitive person's love of nature and quiet environments. I remember when I was a little girl. I used to always walk barefooted, and my grandma would tell me I'm gonna have long, long, big feet because I never like to put on shoes or socks. I still don't like to wear socks or anything like that, but I also love to going outside to let my feet touch the ground. Now, here's the thing with this. Now, when you're going outside without any shoes on and your bare feet on the ground, you got to worry about other things in the grass, which is preferably dog poop. Okay, there was one time I went out. Oh my goodness gracious, how horrible! Like, it's just the nastiest thing ever when you're trying to ground in your yard and there's like dog manure everywhere. Just, even though they're supposed to pick up their animal things, it just doesn't happen that way. So just be mindful when you're going out to a park or somewhere or wherever you are, even if you're in your yard, to make sure there's not any animal feces around, because that was just a bad experience. Um, so empaths and highly sensitive people can also sense subtle energy, which is also called prana, like that energy I was just talking about that was up on me. And that is the Eastern healing traditions. And I also learned that when I was in college and I was taking traditional Chinese medicine, I was learning about that. They call their energy chi or ki, qi. So energy in each culture, they view energy. It be the same thing. It be energy, but it just has different names. So in Eastern healing traditions, they call energy prana. I be hearing what's the man name? Infinite Water say that. I think that was him. They used to say prana. So and this is the energy that we also absorb in our body. Highly sensitive people don't typically do that. Highly sensitive people are able to more so pick up on energies that are around, or just pick up energies. Now, subtle energy is like emotionals and physical sensations. It's energetically internalized the feelings, pain, various physical sensations of others, and we often have trouble distinguishing someone else's discomfort from our own. Like I also said before, some empaths have profound spiritual and also intuitive experiences, which are usually associated with highly sensitive people. And the intuition part is kind of like, it takes a while for you to even know that that is your intuition, and for you to not second guess yourself. I had to understand that when your intuition is speaking, when she is saying something, she is pretty much on point. It be us or it be outside influences that'll try to deter and try to say that that's not that your intuition is not talking, or I feel like it's more important to follow your own intuition, and not only your own intuition. When I had my surgery, your body will let you know when there's danger around. Like, how when the small hairs stand up on your body, let you know there's some type of presence around you. That's the same thing. Like, your your intuition, your body will let you know when you are in danger. It will let you know pretty much we're in danger. Like, I kind of, well, butterflies, you know how people get when they really like somebody and they get around them and they feel butterflies. That's kind of like the good energy to distinguish which one is the other. As I was saying, kind of lost my train of thought, but that's pretty much and also another thing is that being able let me go back to what I was saying. That's what I was about to say. Gratitude to the spirit always just reminded me. So I remember when I had my surgery, um and well, after I had my surgery and I was stressed about some things, I noticed that that area would start to pulsate. It's like a heartbeat. It'll start pulsating, pulsating, pulsating. That let me know whatever I was thinking about or whatever I was doing is not good, and I need to stop because it's stressing me out. Even with the yelling, remember I said when I was a young girl, I didn't like getting yelled at. I would cry, I would just ball up, like I just didn't like it. I didn't like it being screamed at. And so I was the screaming mother at one point. And I had to learn that screaming is not healthy. Like, it comes from your gut. That screaming is not good. It is not healthy. It's not good for your heart. It's just not good for our energy. And if you do have sensitive children, it's definitely not good for them. So another thing that empaths are able to do, which is communicate with animals, nature, and their inner guides. Sometimes we live in a society where they want to try to try to diagnose people with mental illnesses. And I remember when I was downtown one time in my city. Matter of fact, let me go back to something strange that's happening. I am in Florida and it rained here. It rained and it was thunder. Unusual? Yes, very unusual. Now let me get back to this, what I was saying. What was I saying? So What I was saying is that we live in a society where people like to diagnose you and try to tell you what a mental illness is, which I don't think if you have been trained in that field, I don't think we should diagnose people, because there also has been a huge misdiagnostics going on where people can just, well, you can't just misdiagnose people, because misdiagnosis leads to being medicated, being um, given the wrong medication, which leads to other health issues. So this is why you need to seek out professionals, and this is why I understand now. While when I was in college, they asked you to only search for peer review. I understand now, because everybody is not truthful. Everybody's not telling the truth. Everybody is not doing their actual research. It's just a regurgitation of what we hear somebody else says. So whenever you have intuition, or that inner guidance or that inner voice speaking, that is your higher guides. I remember when I was downtown, and this lady, she was just she was walking, and she was speaking. I'm not sure to who, but I heard her say, "You dead? What you gonna do about it? You dead?" And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, who was she talking to? Like, there are people out here that has real spiritual gifts, and people have just shunned them off as if they're crazy or something wrong with them, or they have a mental illness. And sometimes that don't be the case. That just, I don't understand how we pick and choose who are able to have inner guidance compared to who. I don't know. It's strange. Now, let's also get into the general types of empaths. Now, this book is also written by Judith Orloff, MD, and it is called The Empath's Survival Guide: Life Strategies for Sensitive People. I don't believe in coincidences, and this book just came across me, like literally just came across me. So, physical empaths are especially attuned to other people's physical symptoms, and they often tend to absorb them into their own bodies, and you can become energized by someone's sense of being. This is like it's kind of like, there's a head, there's two heads to one side of a coin, which means there can be two aspects to this. You can also have energy vampires, because that's pretty much what this sounds like. Being energized by someone else's well-being, or being energized, or just sucking up a person's energy. You're around this person and you know this person is happy. They're just a happy-go-lucky person. They have great conversation, and then here come this person is coming around with this negative down talk. I had a ex-friend who did that. I didn't even realize that the conversation was so negative and so low energy. I didn't even realize it until after the fact. So just be careful about people who you talking to, because they can push all that energy off on you, even and now you having issues. It's like, just be careful. We know everybody needs somebody to talk to, but sometimes we need to put a blockage on that and allow people to listen to their own inner guidance. There's also emotional empath. Emotional empaths mainly picks up on other people's emotions and can become a sponge for their feelings, both happy and sad. I can relate to this, being an emotional empath. Like I said, sometimes I go out and it's just so much energy. I just don't even know what to be doing with myself, especially when I didn't cover my head up. Oh my goodness. I'm talking about headaches, freaking blurry vision, all types of stuff. Intuitive empath is they have extraordinary perception, such as heightened intuition, telepathic messages in dreams, animal and plant communication, and as well as contact with the other side. Now, I can relate to contact with the other side and telepathy and messages in my dreams, but plant communication, I don't really I do talk to my plants, but as far as knowing, well, I can't say that. There's been times where I have had plants that was dead, and I just was able to bring them back up to life. Just because I feel like you ever talk to your plants, they're like people too. They're like living organisms too, just as well as water is, just as well as the trees is, just as well as natural things that are around us. And it just be so funny. I really talk to them like they're human beings. So, telepathic empaths receive intuitive information about others in the present time. I can also um relate to that, even though I it's like you need it's like I need help, or sometimes empaths need help on how to gather this information. Not only how to gather this information, but how to present it to others. Because some people don't take, like when you tell people about your dreams, like sometimes they don't take it. Everybody's not into that, you know, believing what somebody says about their dreams. Like, that's probably why I don't really tell people, some of the dreams. I come to my politics class and tell y'all, but other than that, that's why I don't really tell people, because sometimes it be things to where it's kind of like for my eyes only, kind of like showing me things that have been done in the dark. So, precognitive empath have premonitions about the future while awake or dreaming. Dream empaths are avid dreamers and can receive intuitive information from dreams that helps others and guides them in their own lives, which is directly why I put myself in a type of empath I am. Like all of my intuitive hits, intuition, premonitions come from my dreams. Like since I was a kid, I could still remember dreams that I had as a child. Mediumship empaths can access spirits on the other side, which who we consider as psychics, or people. The other word is mediumship. Plant empaths can feel the needs of plants and connect with their essence. Earth empaths are attuned to changes in our planet, our solar system, and the weather. Earth empaths, if I'm not sure if you all see people that'll come and let us know what is going on with our planet, what's going on with the weather, what's going on as far as with everything energetically. We can look at them as Earth empaths. I also noticed that Earth empaths rely a lot on the zodiac and the transitions and of the planets. Animal empaths can tune in to animals and communicate with them. So while there are so many different empaths, we're gonna just stop right here because my girls starting class, so I sit in there with them. So the next week we're going to be talking about the introverted empath and the extroverted empath. I'm already let you know I'm an introverted empath. I love being at home. My home is like, well, my room is my oasis. Um, it's just exactly the mood and the vibe that I've been looking for. I would allow the children to have, a living room out unless I'm doing some work or we're doing work up there. But I would allow them to have the living room and their room. And in my room, it's just everything that I need, everything that I want, the visuals, the lighting, the ambience, everything. So that's something for you to listen to over the weekend and to understand and to learn which empath of you. I hope that everyone is loving themselves and taking care of themselves, putting themselves first. And until next time, guys and goddesses, peace.